Take a look at this room. It looks like the bridge of a spaceship from a 1970s sci-fi movie. You might guess it's a set from Star Trek, or maybe a secret bunker in the Soviet Union. It's neither. This is Santiago, Chile in 1972. And you are looking at the control center of one of the most audacious technological experiments in history. This is Project Cybersyn. Before the internet as we know it existed, before Google, before AWS, before the iPhone, a team of engineers in a small South American country tried to build a nervous system for an entire economy. They wanted to connect every factory in the nation to a central computer in real time. But unlike our modern internet, which is often driven by profit and surveillance, this system was designed with a radically different goal: to create a liberty machine that would empower workers rather than control them. Today, we're going to pop the hood on the technology of Cybersyn. We'll look at how they tried to run a country with 50-year-old Telex machines, the algedonic algorithms that powered it, and why this forgotten project might actually be superior to the big data world we live in today. To understand the engineering miracle of Cybersyn, you have to understand the constraints. In 1971, Chile had one mainframe computer for the project, an IBM 36050, and a phone network that barely worked. Building a real-time network seemed impossible. The solution was Cybernet. The team found 400 unused Telex machines gathering dust in a warehouse. These were essentially typewriters connected to telephone lines. They placed them in factories up and down the country's 4,000-kilometer spine. Every day at 5 p.m., factory managers would transmit key metrics: raw materials, absentee rates, energy use. This wasn't automated IoT sensors, it was people typing numbers. But it worked. The data was punched onto paper tape in Santiago, fed into the mainframe, and processed overnight. By the next morning, the government had a snapshot of the economy. It sounds slow to us, but compared to the 6-month lag of traditional bureaucratic paper pushing, this was light speed. It was a real-time revolution, built on copper wires and paper tape. But collecting data is easy. Making sense of it is hard. This is where the software called Cyberstride comes in. The engineers didn't want to drown in numbers. They used a statistical method called Bayesian filtering. The system was smart. It could tell the difference between a random daily dip and a serious problem. If a metric went out of whack, the system generated an algedonic signal, a fancy cybernetic word for a signal of pain or pleasure. Here's the killer feature that modern tech often ignores: autonomy. The software was programmed not to tell the central government everything. If a factory had a problem, the alert went to the factory first. They had the freedom to fix it. Only if they failed did the alert move up the chain. Compare that to today's bossware, or Amazon warehouse algorithms that track every second of a worker's day. Cybersyn was designed to filter data up to protect the people at the bottom from micromanagement. It was, in the words of its creator Stafford Beer, a liberty machine. And then there was the interface, the operations room. This room didn't use keyboards. Why? Because in 1972, typing was considered secretarial work, and high-level ministers wouldn't do it. So they invented a big button interface. Users pressed geometric shapes to navigate through the data, from the national level down to the factory level. It was basically a hyperlink system, decades before the World Wide Web. They even prototyped a device called the algedonic meter for the public, a dial that citizens could turn to indicate if they were happy or unhappy with the government, sending a real-time happiness signal to the ops room. Think of it as a primitive, analog Twitter sentiment analysis, but designed for democracy, not ad revenue. So, how does this 1970s relic stack up against our modern tech stack? The modern internet is centralized to extract value. Your data is mined to sell ads or train AI. Cybersyn was centralized to coordinate resources while preserving autonomy. It was an enterprise resource planning system for a society, not a corporation. In our world, you are the product. In Cybersyn's theoretical model, the worker was a participant who helped design the metrics. While it wasn't perfect, and critics argue it was still too technocratic, it attempted a balance we've completely lost today. We never got to see if Cybersyn could scale. On September 11, 1973, a military coup destroyed the government. The ops room was smashed, the software was scrapped, the internet that never was erased from history. We live in a future that looks a lot like Cybersyn. We have the smart cities, the data dashboards, and the algorithmic regulation. But we miss the most important part of the code, the part that was supposed to set us free. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more great content.